Can I have everyone's attention, please? It's hard to believe that 10 years ago, I couldn't hardly stand my little sister. And now I couldn't imagine going even one day without talking to her. We are all here today to congratulate Philip and Stephanie and hope they have a life filled with happiness. I am honored to be able to tell you guys a few stories from our childhood, a few funny stories, and tell you how Stephanie's life has changed since she has been with Philip. I was an only child for 9 long years, and then came Stephanie. I was super excited to have a sister at first, but that didn't last very long. She was my baby sister, and I loved helping my mom take care of her. I could make you laugh better than anyone. Stephanie was round and chubby, but it didn't take long before she was taller than me, with the skinniest legs I had ever saw. I soon became a teenager, and Stephanie soon became very irritating. It seems like she was always around. I would have friends over or be on the phone, and there was Stephanie, bugging us always and every day. We slowly became older and got to be extremely close. As I said before, I was always the one that could make Stephanie laugh better than anyone, but I am definitely the one who is laughing now. For some reason, when Stephanie speaks, she is not always trying to be funny, but it sure does come out that way. You just want to look at her and say, "Are you being for real right now?" For instance, my uncle told Stephanie that he was wanting us all to go to the lake again before the snow flies. And Stephanie says to him, "Snow flies? I've heard of horse flies, but I've never heard of snow flies." There was another time when my mom and Stephanie were out shopping, and Stephanie was asking my mom to buy her something. And my mom said, "Stephanie, what you need is a J-O-B. And Stephanie looks at my mom and says, "No, Mom, what I need is a job." The last of Stephanie's "what are you talking about" moments happened when me and my mom, Stephanie and Philip, were all at my mom's house talking about what me and Stephanie called jumping spiders. We were saying how the basement sometimes has jumping spiders in it, and they freak us out. My mom and Philip both say, Those are crickets. They're not jumping spiders." Stephanie says, "Those are not the crickets from the 90s that I remember." We all look at her and say, "Crickets from the 90s? Do you think they've changed since the 90s? That story was one of the first dingy moments that Stephanie had in front of Philip, and Philip looked at her and said, "Are you being serious right now?" I think that moment, Philip realized that there was never going to be a dull moment in his life with Stephanie in it. Stephanie and Philip have known each other since middle school, but it wasn't until after Philip got out of the Army that they realized that they were meant to be together. It seemed like Stephanie has grown up a lot since she has been with Philip. She no longer finds it important to go to the bar every night. She even moved out on her own, which was a huge shock to me because I literally thought she was going to live with my mom for the rest of her life. Philip was loved by our family from the very moment we met him. And that was definitely a new thing for Stephanie, because we weren't fond of the previous boyfriends at all. Stephanie and Philip from the beginning just seemed to click. Everyone could tell that this was a relationship that was going to last. I couldn't ask for a better sister, and as we have grown older, Stephanie has also become my best friend. I am so happy for the both of you. I hope you guys have enjoyed hearing about Stephanie's crazy stories and the love that Philip and her share. Let's all toast to Philip and Stephanie. And Philip, welcome to the family.